Welcome back to the channel again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Now, y'all know I like to see how everything is connected, how it's tied together. For me, this is huge because it's been a lot of talk about the Keri Hilson. If you guys don't remember her, you know, really good singer. They were saying that she was blackballed. She was blackballed. Got this video here from the Impressive channel that says Keri Hilson was blackballed for dissing Beyonce. Keri was sabotaged by, is that Polow? I don't know. Timberland and Ester. Let's just see what they got to say here, because it just shows you the power that people possess. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Impressive channel. Keri Hilson went into detail about why she was set up to go against Beyonce and how it affected her career. Now, I actually done a video about this years ago. This is not new information to me at all. Keri was signed to Polow and Timberland, and I was aware that Polow was the one who forced her to record this diss song against Beyonce because he was threatening not to release her music if she didn't do it. Now the song,
but I'm just trying to think of the why, because he knew it would go viral, and it like, dang, it's a dirty game out there, man.
in question was actually the remix to the song Turning Me On, and in the lyrics it sounded like she was taking a shot at both Beyonce and Ciara, because she said, "Your vision cloudy if you think you're the best. You could dance," meaning Ciara. "She could sing," meaning Beyonce, "but she need to move it to the left, to the left." She was obviously referencing Beyonce's Irreplaceable song. And then she went on to say this: "She need to go have some babies. She need to sit down. She fake. Them other chicks ain't even worth my time to talk about." She also said, "I stay turning it on. Go ahead and tell these people how long I've been writing your songs.
What?
I've been putting you on. Just check the credits, ho. And if you want me, you can find me in Decatur, ho." So these lyrics seem like they were supposed to be directed towards Beyonce and even Ciara, and a lot of people were outraged by it, and this really did affect Keri's career. Keri was still able to have some success after the fact. I mean, she did have a hit song called Pretty Girl Rock, but her controversial video and single, The Way You Love Me, actually tainted that whole moment. And so things weren't the same, but really, she was never going to reach a certain height after the narrative was put out there that she dissed Beyonce. And Keri never really told the full truth about what really went down with that song. In fact, there was an old interview that surfaced of her saying that she was on board to do it and it was never intended to shade anybody.
But no, he didn't like force me to do anything. I mean, it was a suggestion and I told him, okay, I'll try it. You know, it's a hot verse. I love the verse. Yes, I heard specific names being brought up. No, it's not about that. No, I guess that's the only way I could say it. I'm not retracting. It's just that was never the energy behind it.
So from listening to this interview, it almost seemed like Keri was down with the shenanigans, but in actuality, she hated the verse. She didn't want to do the song. She felt forced to do it because her boss, Polow, threatened not to release her album if she didn't. And
So she just said she wasn't forced. Now she's saying she is. Oh, man. Again, man, it's a dirty game out there with stuff that goes on behind closed doors. You know, they say the whole bad publicity is good. People, but again, people love controversy, man. People love it. People want to see beefs and feuds. People don't want to see people happy, shaking hands and hugging, which will make the world a better place, but they don't want to see that.
Not to mention, she didn't even write the song. Ester Dean wrote the song. And all this time, Keri was protecting everybody involved, but now the truth finally came out.
Polow wanted me to do a remix to Turning Me On. He had produced the record, and I wasn't, because I was on tour with Lil Wayne, I wasn't able to like lay anything down. He had been on me for a couple of weeks about we need to do a remix. Okay, so I take off. It wasn't happening quick enough for him. I take off, we fly in. He had another writer in our camp at the time. He had her write this. So he played it for me like, this is the remix, because I'm thinking I'm coming in to go write a remix to Turning Me On. Like, The whole time I had been writing concepts, like, what would I say? How do I even remix this? Like, what do I want to? So I had lines and I had, things that I would have said, but I come into the studio and he plays me this verse, and I'm like, automatically, I'm like, I'm not saying that. That was my position. But
you knew it was shade when you heard it.
Yeah. You could, but I didn't know really who it was about. So I never found it, but we disagree there, Polow and I, because he believes in kind of the shock jock mentality. He believes in kind of playing dirty to a degree, and I don't.
The shock jock. You see what I mean? So people will be like, what? She said that about Beyonce and Sierra? And then next thing you know, viral. Now everybody's watching it, everybody's sharing it. It's just like when there's always some type of controversy right before someone's album comes out. It's all these PR stuff. It's just crazy, man. Crazy. Because like when you think of Keri Hilson, like, okay, maybe she shouldn't or wasn't going to reach like Beyonce's level of fame, but she at least should have been like on the same level as like a Sierra, but
it's not rap.
So exactly. So I tried to fight him on it, and I began writing my own. That's what I did with my time there, but it was quite forceful, you know what I mean?
In an executive artist way?
Yeah, in an executive artist way only. Involving others and kind of threatening my career in a sense, in a real sense. Like, you're not coming, because my album wasn't out yet. So it was like, you're not coming out if you don't do this.
Damn.
And the mistake that I made was not continuing to fight. But I was in tears. I was crying. I was adamant that I did not want to do that.
And for people that don't know, you were signed to Polow.
I was signed to Polow and Timberland.
Correct.
Yep, in a joint venture at Interscope Records.
Yep.
Now, where's Timberland at? He ain't had nothing to say about. Dirty, man. And I know she was probably like, what, 20-something? 20, early 20s?
And I was young. I was super young. I felt I had no power. I felt I had no choice. But I did record my version, which had nothing like that in it. It was on subject. The song is about men. And I think days after? He remembers more because he was there.
Wow.
He remembers more. Was it days after when it leaked? It leaked like days after I did it, but he promised me that wouldn't happen. So it leaked. And that was that. And I protected him. I protected the girl that wrote it, who went on to become famous. I protected everyone in the story. So I had to eat that. And I am still eating it to this day.
What did Timberland say?
Yeah.
I think he just went because they were partners. I think he just went along, but I don't remember that we involved him or that he was involved at all, because he hadn't produced that record. But I wonder now. I would love to ask him, like, what did you think about that? What I do know is he went on to work with B and J,
So did Polow.
and tour with him, and so did Polow.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, wow. But again, I was trying to keep peace, and also not wanting to put my career. They were still my bosses. I didn't want to put my career further into detriment. So I just didn't want to step in the shit anymore, though. So I didn't want to hold no magazine. with her on I just froze because I was shook. I was scared. I was not of her. Like, I love her. I think she's incredible. She's one of the greatest artists of all time.
I'm wondering if, like, let's say someone knows how to make beats. Like, I'm just saying, let's say someone knows how to play all these instruments. They can sing, they can dance, they can do everything, right? Like, how hard would it be to just do everything yourself and not involve anybody? Because, you know, as soon as, you know how you see somebody get extremely viral and popular on YouTube, why don't they just stay with YouTube? Why don't they just do all their stuff and just put it on YouTube versus working with producers and all that stuff? I know it may be very time consuming, but at the same time, I feel like if you can do it, you should. You know, when you're thinking about all the independent artists, but I'm just talking about literally just doing everything by yourself. No team, just you. That way they can't get you. Or would they be talking to somebody on YouTube like, don't let them upload any of their music. Strike them. Community guideline. Do something. Don't let them make money on YouTube until they sign with us.
Now it's a name I can't say. It's a magazine I can't hold. It's a conversation I don't want to have publicly just because I don't want to piss anybody off. I don't want to make things even more weird than they already were. I just wanted it to go away.
This interview was pretty eye-opening to me. Even though I was aware of some of the things that happened, I didn't know all the details. And now I'm looking at Polow da Don and Timberland very funny. She said Timberland wasn't involved in making the song, but Keri was still his artist, and there should have been no reason why this should have happened under his watch. Like, I don't understand that. But yeah, Polow da Don was definitely at fault here, and even Ester Dean. It seemed like they all came up with this plan for Keri to go at Beyonce. And this is not to say that Keri is without blame, because honestly, she did not have to record that song. But she decided to go against her principles, and that's something she has to live with. But she's not fully at fault here because her team set her up to fail. The thing is, Keri didn't need to diss Beyonce or even Ciara to get any buzz.
Right.
Like, she wasn't looking for clout. She already had a huge hit with Kanye West and Ne-Yo called Knock You Down. She had a big hit with the producer Timberland called The Way I Are. She had an urban hit song called Turning Me On featuring Lil Wayne. I mean, she had a lot of buzz going for herself. She didn't need to diss anybody to get attention. So why would her camp force her to diss Beyonce, knowing what it would do to her career? Why would they do that? Why would they purposely sabotage an artist who could have been lucrative for them? It makes no sense to me.
At all.
And I'm thinking, like, was Polow using Keri as a pawn to get at Beyonce? Because Keri said that Polow plays dirty. He plays dirty. So what was his motive for doing that? I don't know. Even though Keri is telling her truth, I still feel like she's keeping certain information out to protect other parties, because I want to know why they put her up to dissing Beyonce, knowing the backlash that she would get. Why would they do that? The thing is, whatever plan they had backfired horribly, and it actually ended up working out for Jay-Z, because the last thing Jay-Z needed was for a new girl to come up and be competition for his girls. And when I say his girls, I mean his wife Beyonce and his artist Rihanna. Keri was competing in the same market as those two. And
then see, that's the problem there, man. Thinking of like the competition versus like why we all can't eat. You know what I mean? It just it's just crazy to me, man. Like, you got all this talent here, and you're making them compete with each other, you know, instead of like, and again, Rihanna and Beyonce ain't got no song together. Something very odd and strange with that.
She was becoming more and more popular. If her career didn't slow down, she could have easily been a part of that black superstar class alongside Beyonce, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj. But Keri Hilson was sabotaged, and it probably was to Jay-Z's relief, because one thing about it, Jay-Z is protective of his cash cows, and he doesn't want no one coming in and being a threat to that. That's just my thought. Now, some people might think, girl, what you talking about? I don't really know, but I'm coming up with theories in my head because after listening to Keri's interview on The Breakfast Club, I wouldn't be surprised if her team purposely sabotaged her to get her out the way. And everybody else went unscathed. Polow the Don and Timberland went on to work with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Ester went on to write for Beyonce and Rihanna. She wrote some of Rihanna's biggest hits. She actually wrote some of the biggest hits in the 2010s. Like, her pen is serious. But everybody went on to do their thing, and meanwhile, Keri was left by the wayside.
Because that whole time, it was begrudgingly that I went through with his request, but it was like a promise, like, you can write your own if you sing this. And then it leaked. So it was all part of the plan. Wow. So I wasted my time even working on my own verse, because that was what he wanted to happen.
What did your team say when the backlash happened? Did they just step away and say, you on your own now? Or did they support?
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. That everyone went on to normalcy and I'm the only one left. Like, That's what it felt like. I'm being crucified. I'm being murdered. And I would say Keri, the human, was looking at Keri Hilson, the artist, like, you deserve that. You should have fought harder.
Have you spoke to Beyonce or run into her? Because the industry is small.
It is. We ran into each other, and she introduced herself. I didn't see her coming, but she came and her hand was out and she introduced. She was like, "Hi, I'm B." You know, that was a little bit of like, you know,
all right.
I see you. Because I don't know what's being said. I do know that my camp has worked with her. I don't know what was also said. They might have put it on me. They might have said she wrote that one. Like, I don't know what was said.
Right.
I would love to clear that up.
Keri has to really start asking some questions because this whole situation is really, really weird. But I am glad that she's coming back with new music. She's coming out with an album called We Need to Talk on April 18th, and she did release a song called Bay. So I'm glad that Keri is getting another chance at her career, and she's finally receiving some vindication after all of these years. Now, Ester came out and she confirmed that she actually wrote that diss song. She said, "I submitted a lot of verses for that remix. One got picked and it was co-written with Keri. Looking back, it was childish and didn't age well. I see how it hurt people, especially women, and I take full accountability. I've worked with and supported many women since, but that doesn't erase the moment. I'm sorry for my part in it. Growth is real, and so is this apology." And Ester did double down on the fact that yes, she wrote this diss song. But Keri didn't like the fact that Ester said co-wrote the song, as if they both sat down and collaborated on it. No. Ester wrote most of the song while Keri added 3 lines that were the least offensive. Keri hopped on the Shade Room and said, "Dean, I personally don't think this is our fight to have. I've respected you on this matter for 16 years and attempted to do that again yesterday while finally expressing the truth when asked. But since you're coming to the table, let's be clear. You used the word co-wrote. I rewrote 3 lines in your verse, which was the only battle I won in our whole matter. But you weren't there when all of this was going down, and we didn't write it together. These lines are mine. Been getting dollars, boy. Go get your money up. No, you ain't the only homie on me lined up. The softest section, lines about a boy. Because not only did I strongly disagree with the unnecessary hateful sentiments towards other women, and I've never been a fan of the publicity stunt method, I also argued in my trail of attempts that this verse isn't even on subject with the original song, which is how I even got those 3 lines on the remix. They were taken from the ideas and lines in my phone that I mentioned in a full interview. You chose to stay quiet for 16 years, but coming out now only when you felt a poor portion of the heat I've gotten all this time. I really wasn't going to discuss this anymore, but in that interview, we talked about the backlash of not speaking up for myself. So I just want to finally clear the air respectfully. You know what? This is really messy.
What they be talking about? Being a girl's girl and women standing up for it. And you see stuff like this. And at the end of the day, money. Money, 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 money. I feel like when you look at the apology she wrote and how she said we co-wrote, like she's still throwing some stuff in there. I remember when Keri Hilson first came out. Remember, I'm about to be 45 years old. So the music in that era when music was like thriving versus what the hell it is now, I don't know. But she literally seemed like she was on her way, and then it just stopped. It just stopped. But instead of all of them teaming up, doing songs with each other, you get this.
Up. It is because Ester did wait a long time to finally speak up. Keri has been protecting all of these people for all these years, but they never came out and stood up for her. That's really the messed up part of this. But I do hope that now Keri can move forward without any drama in her career, because I think she deserves a second chance at this. She's very talented. She knows how to make a hit song. And so I'm wishing her a lot of success in this new era. I also heard that A. Marie is coming back out. She actually dropped a single called Mine, which I love. I love that single. I have it on repeat. And Sierra is doing music as well. I actually think it would be a good idea for Sierra, Keri, and A. Marie to do a tour together. I don't know, just a thought. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you.
Dude, look at A. Marie. Boy, that Asian like fine wine. That's, yo. I don't know about doing a tour because I feel like somehow, some way it's going to end up being some drama. Just like how you got Bow Wow and them having drama, him and Omari. Look. Keri Hilson just need to make her comeback on her own. Dang, A. Marie. I met her once working at the Staples Center. She came down my aisle. I think it was for a Laker game. But she was super tiny, man. Little. Yo. It's so crazy to me that when you get all the like behind the scenes stuff that went down, because like I said, you have some artists that are one-hit wonders. Some people make about 3 good songs and you don't hear from them, and you be trying to figure out what the hell happened, like what is going on. You know, I think of like the Chingies, the Jaquans, who like what be going on with these people, man. And then you get the behind the scene news. You get the dark stuff that be going down. I ain't gonna release your music unless you do this. You're signed to me, so damn. That's how they get you. It's really messed up, man. And then you look at the people who are still on top right now. Hey, appreciate y'all coming over and watching. Like, share, comment below. Peace out.